My name is Todd McLeod, and I'm running for Mayor of Kamloops. I'm married with 4 children, and right now I am a flight critical care paramedic working in Manitoba. On my days off, I like to spend time with the family. We like to go out, see events, but mainly we spend a lot of our time in and around Kamloops. Originally, I put my name forward to run as council. I was seeing if I was able to fit it in with my full-time job, but then when I realized the schedule would conflict working on council, I then spoke to my family who knew I was interested in politics, and he suggested, why don't you run for mayor, which allowed me to dedicate 100% of my time to run as mayor. And that's kind of how I found myself running for mayor at this time. My top priority in Kamloops is healthcare. And I chose healthcare over, for example, unemployment. Unemployment is at 5.6%, which is lower than the Canadian average of 6.5%. The healthcare situation in Kamloops is at a crisis. There's a doctor shortage, long lineups in the emergency department. People have to travel outside of the city to see a physician. And as a healthcare provider, a professional, I think I can hopefully work on a resolution to work on the program. That is a good question. In fact, it took me a long time to get an idea of what I want to say on this one. Youth, and I have children, youth are important to the city. They bring enthusiasm, creative ideas, and one way to capture them is to get them involved in the community. Have them work with the business community. Use the youth and their ideas to work in our community. And if we can get them more involved, statistics show they will stay in the community. Once we've captured them, to retain them, we want to be able to entertain them, for example, have concerts, events for youth to do, and going out and have music and that kind of stuff. And that's kind of thing to capture them. And as a family grows, we also be able to have things for the children to do. So that's kind of my focus, and that's how I think we could capture the youth in Kamloops. One thing I tell visitors that they must see is the Kenneth Cartwright Park. It is BC's largest municipal park. It has 800 acres, 40 kilometers of walking trails, which is good for all levels of hikers. Also on that trail, you can get spectacular views of Kamloops, and is also dog friendly. Our most urgent transport need, from the feedback I've been receiving, is public transportation. Right now we have a situation where people have a difficult time getting around the city. I'd also like to expand routes, work on routes, and make it affordable for students. As well as our city grows, I'd also like to look at green technology to leave less carbon footprint. Our biggest challenge, according to Census Canada, is our growth. We are growing at 5.6%. Our biggest issue is keeping up with the infrastructure, schools, utilities, transportation. I think that's going to be our biggest challenge, and also finding employment for people as they come into the city. The biggest opportunity is our growth. With our growth, it brings in a lot of people into the city, and also with the infrastructure that we're providing for that, it'll allow employers and employees to capture the people, and also will promote large and small capital investments. My proudest achievement when I was around 25 years old is when I climbed Mount Kilimanjaro. On my 3rd day, I was suffering from altitude sickness, and I was about ready to stop. I was about 500 feet from the summit, and my guide kept on saying to me, slowly, slowly, one step at a time. I took his advice, and I was able to reach the summit. And by using that philosophy that I learned from that, going slowly, slowly, one step at a time, that's what my whole life is like now. And that's my philosophy to life.